Hello, my YouTube viewers. This is Raven. In this video, I wanted to spend some time addressing a question that I was frequently asked as a teacher. So I was a teacher in American public schools for nearly 10 years, and I was frequently asked this question: if you are so smart, then how come you're not rich? So my students could recognize that I was quite intelligent for various reasons. I mean, I was a physics teacher. I taught physics, I taught biology, I taught chemistry, and I taught mathematics. So I, was teaching some very difficult concepts, teaching both high school level physics and college level physics. And, it's pretty obvious when you get to know me that I am an intelligent person. I speak several different languages. I can program in several different languages. I have written a few different books. I can play a lot of different musical instruments. There are a lot of different things that I can do. I have a degree in physics. I have a minor in math. And I have about 7 years of professional experience working in information technology. So I know how to build computers. I know how to design circuits and build circuit boards from scratch. I can build robots out of garbage. It's pretty obvious when you get to know me that I am an intelligent person. So people would frequently ask me, if you are so smart, why aren't you wealthy? Why aren't you rich? Now, I understand why my students are asking this question. Because we teach in schools that having a good degree in college, being smart, equates to getting a good job. Getting a good job and a good career equates to becoming wealthy. But if you look at the people that have actually become wealthy throughout history, you'll notice very few of them actually have followed that pattern. And if you look at the people that have been genius level smart, have genius level intelligence, very few of them have been wealthy. Many of them, like Nikola Tesla, which ironically the Tesla Motor Company is named after. Elon Musk is extremely wealthy, but Nikola Tesla, the man that Tesla Motors is named after, died very poor. Even though he and his genius is the #1 reason that we have the electrical grid system that we have in the United States and across the world now. So, yeah, he made such a huge impact on the world because of his genius, yet he died poor. Yet, there is this idea that I taught in multiple schools, and in multiple schools, multiple years, multiple classrooms, someone will always ask me this question. I get asked this several times a year. If you are so smart, why aren't you rich? Because people have this idea that if you have great ideas, if you have a genius mind, if you have a degree in something difficult like physics, then you automatically should be wealthy. But it's not true. It's not the case. Intelligence does not equate to wealth. Now, before I dive further into this video, I'm going to depart a bit from what I usually do and read a verse from the Bible. Now, this might sound a little strange considering I am basically an atheist. I do not believe in any sort of religion or in any of the gods of any religions, and I do not believe in any sort of God, although I do believe in a sort of all-encompassing entity that I call the existence code that I discussed in my other videos. Sorry, my camera is a bit shaky. I'm balancing on my knee because I do not have a tripod with me. Also, I've been using this headset, so if the audio kind of sucks, I apologize for that. but my phone has terrible audio and it picks up all the background noise, and it being summertime, I have my swamp cooler running and it's quite noisy, and this headset doesn't pick up the swamp cooler very much. So that's why I'm using that. You know, I don't have very much money. I live in a 150 square foot tiny house I built from stuff I stole out of a dumpster at a construction site and an old motorhome that I got for $500. So yeah, I've been living here for about 4 years. You know, I don't have very much, and part of that is because I don't really aspire to own very much. I really love the minimalistic lifestyle. Anyway, the verse from the Bible I'm going to read today to really help me explain my feelings on this topic and my thoughts comes from Matthew chapter 6. So I actually grew up in a really religious family and community, and I have read the Bible in a few different languages, at least 10 different times, cover to cover. And yeah, I definitely recommend the books of Moses if you're having trouble falling asleep at night and you really need something to put you to sleep. So the books of Moses read in a British accent by an old dude in audiobook format. Those are probably the best things to listen to if you need to fall asleep at night, because they are so bloody boring. Anyway, but this comes from Jesus from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 6. So in verses 19 and 20, he says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." So Jesus is teaching something that I think is kind of cool, even if you don't believe in heaven. The next verse is especially powerful. He says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And I think this is actually the number one reason why intelligence does not equate to wealth, and why people historically that have been extremely genius have most often not died extremely wealthy, and often have died poor. Because their heart is not set on acquiring wealth. Their hearts have been set on acquiring knowledge and on doing things for the benefit of other people. Now, I'm reading Jesus' words. I don't particularly believe in Jesus as a supernatural being. I don't even particularly believe that he was a real person. I mean, there is some evidence to suggest he probably was a real person, but I think there's also a lot of evidence to suggest that there's a lot of mythology mixed in to the Bible and into the New Testament also. I mean, if you read the early days of the formation of the Christian church and how Constantine and the Nicene Creed, how those things affected and influenced the putting together the Bible, it's pretty obvious that there was a lot of myth mixed in there to me. Now, I don't mean any offense to those of you that believe in it. Having said that, Jesus is one of my absolute favorite superheroes. I mean, yes, I believe that there's a lot of myth in the whole story, but I also believe that there is a lot of good and a lot of love in the words he teaches in the Bible, which is kind of funny because the Bible is filled with so much hate in the Old Testament, where God goes out and commands them to slaughter women and children. Yet in the New Testament, there are these extremely loving words of wisdom spoken by Jesus. So yeah, I think we can appreciate parts of things without swallowing the whole story. I mean, I love Greek myths, Greek and Roman myths. They teach a lot of valuable principles as well. But do I believe that Hercules was a real person? Do I believe in Zeus. No, I don't, you know, because there's a lot of evidence to support that they never existed. You know, there's no evidence to support that they did exist other than some stories, and the same really applies for the Bible, in my opinion, and from how I interpret the evidence. So, but that does not mean that there aren't valuable treasures in the words within different stories. And I think this is a valuable treasure here that Jesus teaches, that where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I think the opposite is also true. Well, where your heart is, it will direct the treasures you seek. And I believe that is the number one reason why wealth does not equate to intelligence, and intelligence does not equate to wealth. Now, there's another verse, just a few verses later, verse 24, where Jesus says, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one or love the other, else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." Now, what does mammon mean? That means money. You cannot serve God and money. And from Jesus' point of view, what does serving God mean? It means loving your neighbor, being kind to others. Now, that point of view isn't shared throughout the entire Bible if you read the Old Testament and all that. But that is one of the most amazing things about Jesus, is that he taught kindness. He taught people that throwing rocks isn't the best idea when you disagree with the way they're living their life. He taught people that if someone is trying to hurt you, hurting them back isn't the best idea either. But returning violence with kindness is the way to go. And those things that he taught, those things are what makes him one of my greatest heroes to this day, even though I don't believe in him. I believe in a lot of his words. And yeah, but back to today's topic. I don't believe that you can be wealthy and have so much wealth that's just sitting there for your own benefit and still be the kind of person that understands the value of sacrificing your own desires and wants for the well-being of others. I believe if someone had billions of dollars and really cared about the welfare of mankind, they would devote all that money for the welfare of mankind. And it wouldn't be money that they have sitting in a bank account or sitting in assets. It'd be money that they have being devoted to those charitable causes. And that's really the point that Jesus is making here. You cannot serve your fellow man, which is how Jesus defined serving God. Serving God to Jesus was loving your neighbor as yourself. I do not believe that you can do that if you are just utilizing all this wealth for your own selfish desires. And I don't believe you would have that much wealth unless you were doing so. Unless the wealth is constantly flowing in and out for the benefit of other people. Now, there are organizations that do that to some degree, and, you know, good for them for doing that. But if you live in a mansion, if you are living in the lap of luxury, while billions of people in the world are living in squalid conditions, where children can't even afford clean underwear or clean drinking water, then shame on you. And I think that's why most extremely intelligent people are not wealthy. Because when you are truly intelligent, you understand emotional intelligence. And what makes people profoundly intelligent is not a degree in physics. It's not being able to invent amazing things that you can sell to other people. It's the ability to empathize and to truly understand another's pain in a way that motivates you to help ease that pain, to reach out a helping hand to someone else. So why did Tesla die poor? He died poor because it wasn't his goal in life to become wealthy like Thomas Edison's goal. Thomas Edison's goal was to exploit the other inventors that worked for him to his benefits, to make him look like he was the smart one, which is exactly what Elon Musk is doing today, which to me, it bothers me to no end that his company is named after Tesla, and Tesla was a man that devoted his life to helping other people, to developing new technologies that would allow us to communicate, that would allow us to have electricity, that would allow us to have better lives. He didn't devote his life to selling a product at the expense of other people's safety, like Edison did. You know? And that's why Edison became rich. That's why he became wealthy, not because he was a genius, but because he exploited the less fortunate. And that's why most people become wealthy today. Now, I was thinking about this, about the question, if you are so smart, why are you not rich? People ask this question all the time. They ask me this question all the time. As a teacher, especially, they ask me this question because that is the bullshit that we have been feeding our children in schools, that if they are smart, they will be rich, that they need to overcome poverty by being smart. But no one ever asks the other question to the wealthy, like Donald Trump, for example. No one ever asks that man, if you are so rich, why the hell are you so dumb? No one ever asks that question, because culturally we equate wealth to intelligence. Donald Trump didn't have to really work a day in his life to acquire his wealth. He was born into a wealthy family. He was born on the shoulders of those that have already done the hard work to acquire wealth, the hard work of exploiting the less fortunate. So, I challenge everyone out there who believes this idea that intelligence equates to wealth to really examine the opposite question. Why are there wealthy people that are so dumb? Look at the Kardashians. I mean, seriously. They are not the smartest or the sharpest tools in the shed. They are not. Yet they are wealthy. And how did they make their wealth? It does not take a genius to be a porn star. It doesn't. It does not take a genius to exploit people's desires. It does not take a genius to exploit people's needs. It does not take a genius to make money. In order to make money in a capitalist society, you have to take money from other people. You cannot make it without taking it. So why am I not wealthy? I'm not wealthy because I love knowledge, because I devoted my life to becoming a teacher in high school, because I wanted to share my passion for learning with other people. That is why I am not wealthy. Not because I'm not intelligent, but because I am intelligent. Intelligent enough to empathize and love other people above loving my own desires. That's all I have to say about that, and I am very curious to hear your thoughts on that topic. Do you believe that intelligence equates to wealth, and that wealth equates to intelligence? And if you have a counter-argument for this, I would really love to hear it. Anyway, if you like the content of this video, please subscribe to my channel, and feel free to give it a thumbs up and voice your own opinions in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Bye.